Hello everybody, this is Conquering History Games, and welcome back to part 2 of my Lunar campaign. Here is the Lunar Empire in Hearts of Iron 4, Equestria at War. So in the last episode, the first episode, I finished up the Civil War, and wow, that was much harder than it had been in previous patches. But now, it's time to recover and start building up the army to take back the rest of what is rightfully our empire, Gib Clay. And I think we're going to start with filling up the artillery there. As far as naval dockyards go, let's just do convoys for a while. What kind of decisions do we have available? Apple Grove mines, that's going to take 140 days. Apple Grove mines will be opened, which will give me a 15% research bonus for industry, and it'll cost me 25 political power. This will give me 3 aluminum. Not that great. Not for how long I'll be taking away civilian factories. What's this? Military training. If you're at peace and have more than 19 command power, it'll give me plus 20 army experience, and for 7 days another 20% army experience gain. That's interesting. So, okay, I can trade in my experience points for research bonuses. That's cool. But we're just gonna say, I think I'm gonna save up the political power for right now to spend on my laws and government. Alright. The Equestria Daily. The end of the Equestrian Civil War. Today has seen the end of Equestria as we know it after months of bloody fighting. The legions of Nightmare Moon have overrun much of the country, sending the government and Princess Celestia into hiding. Many loyalist rebels still fight a guerrilla war, but with the majority of the loyalist rebels still... With the majority of the loyalist forces defeated in the war all but one, Nightmare Moon now faces the difficult task of rebuilding and consolidating her rule. With tensions rising around the world, war may return to Lunar Empire sooner rather than later. Okay, the war is over. Nice, I got 200 political power for that. Okay. Time to select a political advisor. I'm still on volunteer only, but I got a pretty decent amount of pony power I can call upon because I do have mandatory military service. Corona Australis will give me more political power and reduce my research time. Umbra is a cult leader. Ideology, drift defense, that's not super important, but I get more stability, more political power. But I think the silent work pony is going to be the way to go. So we're going to pick her up. I can get one more. What am I researching right now? I'm researching 2 industry things. Once I'm done with this, there's just construction, and then I'm not going to be taking any industry stuff for a while, so I don't think I'm going to get that. I think I'll go with electronics. Sleeping Mare Entertainment. Whatever works. Alright, now, I got a lot of reorganizing to do, so I am actually just going to put all of my armies together into one big mass and figure this out. Once again, we're listening to the Hearts of Iron 3 soundtrack. I turned it down a little bit, and I also put a compressor setting on my OBS software. That's redundant, OBS software, because I'm hoping I sound a little bit better than I did in the first episode. Okay, we've got a lot to do here. Let's take a look at these different divisions. I've got some garrisons; those are pretty weak. We got Bat Ponies and Pegasi. Let's take those out first. Where are they at? I suppose I could just let the clock run right now. Oh! Bypassed. Okay, I just bypassed all the Civil War stuff. Am I taking a focus right now? Alright. What have we got here? Continue expanding the arm industry. So now we can take into the Civil War. The war has ended, but there is still much to do. Our society is fractured, and there are still many rebels and traitors that wish to see Celestia return to Equestria's throne. Oh, I see. This is actually going to... This is going to take away a lot of the bonuses I got during the Civil War. Well, I think I got to do it so I can start taking this other stuff. And it says it's going to... Okay, we're going to lose mandatory military service, Civil War, military police. We'll get standardized training practices. We gain national spirit, fraction society, which grants stability minus 20%, daily political power minus 50, 0.50, unlocks approach former subjects' decisions. You see, that sounds interesting because they didn't have those in the previous patch. And I'm still on war economy too, so that's basically negating Nightmare Moon's personal effect of giving me more daily political power. Alright, the war is over and we are victorious. The time has come to rebuild and mend our wounds before our enemies eat us alive. The Civil War is over and we have to take our territories back. We need to get rid of Celestial rebels once and for all. Oh, I automatically declare war on the Celestial state. Okay, this means I do have to stay paused for a moment just while I reorganize everybody. Whoops. That's not what I meant. There we go. Get that and that. Oh, did I lose all my Pegasus divisions, basically? Looks like it. Alright, what are my logistics like? They're not great. I need to have a solid division. Let's start building the standard 7.2s. Right here. So these are the On Hooves divisions. We'll give them the crossed rifles. So these so-called Royal Guards are actually pretty weak, I think. They have the Recon Company, but they're very small. We've also got these Garrison Regiments. They're pretty terrible. Let's do that so I can differentiate them. Oops, I didn't update. Okay. Alright, these are the actual good ones. But let's get these Royal Guards down here first, because there's a lot of jungle and mountain down here. It's basically Nam. I don't want to be dealing with too much attrition. Alright. Who are we going to put in charge? We've got Silver Soldier here, who's an infantry leader. He's an organizer. He's a trickster. He's getting a lot of great traits. He's a level 4. Very good. Yes, indeed. We might promote him later. Oh, did I just... Whoops. Alright, things are getting a little confusing. There we go. Now we want a Field Marshal Spec. And you get Silver Soldier, who's actually got a little too many. Okay. This is going to put me a little bit short on artillery. Need a new focus. We can choose the capital. Get event our capital. Not exactly sure what that does. Get event Loyalist Trials. Hide the elements of harmony. See, this is important because the elements of harmony, this sort of gets into the lore again, but the elements of harmony are what Princess Celestia initially used to seal Nightmare Moon in the moon. So we don't want this here. So while we've managed to get rid of the element holders proper, the elements still need to be hidden. Let us make sure no one can find them this time. So this will give me a little bit of political power, and it lowers my daily democracy support, because in this game, democracy is called harmony. And I'll also get a reduced daily political power cost. So that sounds pretty good to me. Oh, that takes 70 days. How long do these take? This is 35 days. This is 21 days. The war is over, and while Celestia is banished, there's still the matter of her generals and the followers that we've imprisoned. I think I'm going to have to do all these things eventually. I'll probably knock out this entire section before I work on anything else in the tree, so let's start with the shortest ones first, Loyalist Trials, which I think is actually going to cost me some political power. Like I say, this I don't want to accuse Andreas Waldetoff of anything, but this track from Hearts of Iron 3, it's just called War. It sounds almost exactly like the Mars movement from Gustav Holst. Okay, maybe I'm just imagining things, but it sounds suspiciously similar. Alright, Loyalist Trials. Celestia has been banished, but we've managed to capture most of the Loyalist generals and leaders. We could just execute them and be done with it, but unfortunately that might break the tenuous control we have over the country. So we have no other choice than to put them on trial. This would be so much easier if we could just shoot them. Okay, let's spend some political power here real quick, because I think it's about to go away. I'm not interested in Captain of Industry. War Industrialist will be good, but I think for right now we'll get Umbra. Yeah. Get more stability, because I'm at only 34 stability right now, because I'm in an offensive war. And we're just tearing through the Celestial State. Sorry, Daring Do. And also, these other states down here, they have their own unique focus trees. So there's the Celestial States. This is the Disciples of Nightmare Moon. They've got their own thing going. The Confederation has something going for it. There's tons of focus trees here. I just realized that we're already at 100% world tension. And it's almost entirely my fault. We just got to make our way down here to stable side, and we should be okay. All right, trial of Commander Fast Clip. Commander Fast Clip, once a drill sergeant in the Wonderbolts, had been steadily rising through Equestria's ranks for years, and has only recently become one of their generals. Unfortunately for him, he became a commander right before our glorious rebellion. Out of all the generals on the trial, he's the least controversial, so it would be easy to just shoot him and be done with it. However, he's always been a bit of a shifty bugger and could perhaps be convinced to join our officer corps. So we can shoot him, which will increase my stability but lower political power, or I can make him an offer and I get a new general. I think I've got quite enough generals already, so we're just going to shoot him because I like the stability. We don't need shifty buggers, that's their words, in our army. Okay, done choosing the capital. We can celebrate the Thestrials. These are the bat ponies. Out of all of our subjects, the humble bat ponies have been the most loyal. Let all of the Empire celebrate their contributions to our nation. Gets event Bat Appreciation Day. I think it might be better to start the reconciliation efforts. While we could not just simply shoot any remaining loyalists, that would probably... Well, we could just simply shoot any remaining loyalists, that would probably end up in yet another rebellion. Thus, we must at least attempt to reconcile with what remains of their little organization. So we're just going to shoot the generals. All right. What's going to be our capital? We can decide where our capital should be located. As a choice now between Canterlot, the original capital of Equestria, where our masters are already installing Luna symbols and erecting monuments in the name of Civil War heroes, and Manhattan, where the revolt was organized and planned throughout the whole war. So it looks like wherever I move it to, I'll get more building slots and factories. Oh, wait, no, specifically, if I stay in Canterlot, here, I get civilian factories. If I go to Manhattan, I get military factories. And if I do the Lunar Castle, Castle of Two Sisters is renamed to the Lunar Castle, adds one building slot, one military factory, and one infrastructure. Where is that at? Okay, it's right here. It's kind of in the woods. It's like southeast of Ponyville. There's only 2 factory slots here. That's not super helpful. But it kind of works in character. On the other hand, I've ascended. I should be at Canterlot where they worship me. Alright, so Nightmare Moon's capital is now Canterlot. Plus, it's kind of away from the coast. Trial of Commander Whiplash. Commander Whiplash, a retired Wonderbolt who has been serving as one of Equestria's... Now, the Wonderbolts, I don't remember if I said this in the last episode, but the Wonderbolts are essentially the Air Force. But they're kind of more like the Blue Angels version of the Air Force, where they just do shows and stuff. They're not so much... They're not really a military operation, mostly because there's no war. I guess they could be called on to do that, though. Anyway, a retired Wonderbolt who has been serving as one of Equestria's most distinguished generals for a rather long time now. While he isn't particularly famous, he isn't unknown either. Thankfully, our finest lawyers have already managed to pin several wartime crimes... What is going on with me today? Against him. And of course the standard charge of treason. However, his crimes are not nearly enough to warrant an execution, thus we must choose whether to exile him or imprison him. Both of these give me stability. I'm going to still imprison him. I want more stability. Okay, we're up to 44%. And I have 2 bonuses right now to my political power gain, so I'm almost getting a whole point a day right now. And the Celestial State is really not putting up much of a fight. Whoa, almost clicked something by accident. The trial of Commander Soren. Commander Soren is to say the least one of the... Okay, they needed to go over this again. one of the most popular commanders in the Loyalist army, mostly because of his popularity as a Wonderbolt. However, he has declined any and all offers we've made him in an effort to convince him to join us, thus leaving us in a position in which no matter what we do, it will upset someone. Popular or not, hang him high. This gives me more stability, but I'm going to lose a bunch of political power. We can exile him to Yakistan, or imprison him and throw away the key. 10 stability is really nice. Yeah, well, we're going to hang him. Rip Soren. Alright. I don't think we can actually capitulate these guys until we take Salt Main over here. Oh, the trial of Prince Blueblood. The Blueblood that lived before the Civil War might as well be a completely different pony from the stallion standing in front of Her Majesty's throne today. The responsibility and the stress of the situation have made him into a sight to behold, no longer a whimpering coward. The Blueblood standing before us today is a hardened commander and war hero, but most importantly, Her Majesty's nephew. Despite repeated attempts to convince him to join the Lunar Empire, he's remained steadfast, thus leaving us with little choice. We must either execute him or exile him. Okay, we can exile him, which will lose us stability, or shoot him, family or not, he's still a traitor. Oh man, these are some harsh penalties. I'm just gonna exile him. I hope that doesn't mean he comes back one day or something. That would suck. Alright, the trials are over with Blueblood's trial. The so-called celestial trials are finally finished. Now we can focus on reinforcing our rule. Back to business. Okay, good. Now let's, subversive activities, I don't care about that. Let's celebrate the Thestrials. And we're gonna move this army over here. I'm pretty sure the disciples can take care of the rest of this area. I mean, all the encirclements, I mean, I think they can take care of that on their own. A long day in Wetter. Oh, okay, so this was... this event is basically Nova Griffonia here. Their leader just got assassinated. So now... there's going to be chaos for a while, and I think they could either turn... yeah, they can become democratic, or they can have a dictator. What is this? Movies, movies, movies. Okay, it looks like there's a propaganda movie going out about the best soldiers we had, and it gives us a little bit of political power. Great. Alright, now, let's start converting... oh, wait, not just yet, actually. Let's wait until this war is over. Whoops. What else can we do here? It's 11:09. It's 10:09. Right. Let's start getting towards the magical equipment. I definitely am going to want a lot of magical equipment in the army. I'm going to show you guys what it can do. All right, we got him. Whoops. Maybe not. I think I need to pass a few times. Oh goodness, I've got player-led peace conferences and I need so many points because the Disciples of Nightmare Moon were the ones who were really fighting this battle. Can't quite get everything. Come on now. Got it. And we're done celebrating the Thestrals. Expand the Lunar Guard, increases our recruitable population by 1%, we get more attack and more reconnaissance, and we will get 3 elite Lunar Imperial Guard divisions. Well, I do want to see what those are. Bat Appreciation Day today marks the inception of the newly christened Bat Pony Appreciation Day, a new national holiday is proclaimed by our Empress Nightmare Moon. In honor of the valiant efforts made by Bat Ponies serving in our armed forces, today has been set aside as a day of peace to honor those who fell for our safety. For today, we all stand proud by our leathery-winged brothers and sisters, honored that such ponies are fighting on our behalf to keep us safe from harm and trouble. Let's go hug a bat. I get 50 political power, and I just got another 30,000 men in my recruitable pool, or at least population in one of these areas. Alright, time to start thinking about who I could be fighting eventually. Now, these changes are gonna cause me to be short on some things. I'm short on infantry equipment right now. I've got plenty of regular infantry equipment, which I'm very happy about. We're gonna shift a bunch of these over like that. Although I want fighter planes, though these are really garbage ones. Okay, on second thought, what have we got here? Enough with the fighters. We're not gonna even bother with planes. There we go. We're set. Let's change his color again. Great. Yeah, we have this one unit here. I'll think of something to do with them. Although maybe I'll make them into Pegasi Divisions. Yes. Now the Pegasi Divisions, we have our Bat Ponies and we've got our Pegasi, which seem to be identical right now. Wait a minute. Yeah, they're identical. Let's see. These are basically the Special Forces units. We're going to start getting a few more of them together. We'll put them here in Canterlot for right now, or just outside of Canterlot in this pass in the mountains. Who's my next best general? Neon Edgy and Cloud Skipper. Let's get that. Okay, everything looks good. I want to do some changes to my divisions. All right, what is this? Imperial Guard divisions, Lunar Imperial Guard. What do they look like? Oh, nice. They're almost totally filled. But this will put us over the Special Forces limit. So I actually just kind of slightly cheated the system. No, never mind. I didn't cheat it even a little bit. But let's make these, oh, Death of Griffonian Democracy. So no democracy up there. And what's great here is that these guys are veterans, so they're getting a 75% modifier to combat. That's pretty great. But again, we're gonna kind of keep them here in the center of the country for right now. All right. Whoa, I'm sorry. Wow, that came out of nowhere. I would have muted the mic. Really apologize for that. Next. We need, I think it's about time to work for your freedom, expand. See, it's all about getting to Lunar Rule so I can get that extra stability, extra war support, extra daily political power gain, and I don't have to worry about the reconciliation effort, and I'm going to get all my cores. This is not really important right now. Let's get the elements of harmony. In the meantime, we need to build up our industry. We need to build up everything to get ready for any potential wars, as well as the War of Reclamation. What do we got here? Air warfare, nuclear scientist, could go military theorist. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's take a look at what's going on in the rest of the world. Looks like the Aquilian Republic is doing okay. Of course, with their own unique focus tree as well. The Griffonian Republic, this is one at the start of their game, the Emperor dies. And it looks like, even though commoners came into the palace, they have gone with the Duchess route. So basically the aristocracy are running the Griffonian Empire right now. A lot of interesting countries in this mod. And I'm gonna just get started right away on the magical weapons, because the sooner I get that done, the sooner I can begin to incorporate them. Now the question is, do I do specialized or dispersed training? Because it doesn't show, but these are mutually exclusive. It doesn't have the little split like this does. Well, maybe I should just go instead research one other thing before it hits the year 1010, because once 1010 comes around, there's tons of stuff that needs to be researched, in my opinion. So we'll instead take a little bit of time here to get a heavy fighter. And then that's probably going to be that's basically going to be it as far as the Air Force goes. I'm going to be focusing a lot on my land infantry. Speaking of infantry, I'm going to do this right now. Set up the regular infantry equipment, but I'm going to change that over to magical equipment later. Alright. So we have these on hooves divisions. I want a mage company in here, recon, and engineers. Actually, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what happens just when I introduce the mage company, because this is something new. So as you can see, whenever you put the mage company in, this is basically a small unit, a support unit of unicorn ponies. So they've got magic. Most of the, sorry about that, it was a motorcycle going through my neighborhood. Most of the time, I guess conceptually the idea is that your army is mostly made up of earth ponies. But when you add the mage company, as you're seeing, you're getting more HP here. You get more soft attack, more hard attack, more defense, and more breakthrough. I actually haven't shown it, but there's one of the wallpapers for the loading screens has it shows, I guess, a mage pony, and it's using its magic to stop an artillery shell that's right about to fall onto a squad. So I think that's a pretty cool piece of art. So that's the idea here, I think, with the extra defense, and you get more breakthrough, and these things are all good. A little bit less piercing, but not really. So you see it's negligible. And then these things can get really improved later on, as we will see once I begin upgrading them. But I'm going to be going very hard on the mage companies. Logistically, I'm still doing okay. So fine, in fact. Let's see if I can get another 24 out. It's a little bit behind on the towed artillery. Support equipment will catch up before you know it. It's no big deal. Alright, time to ban Celestial Worship. It's perfectly fine. Celestia did this to Luna after she banished her as well. So it's not really all that bad. Alright, we've got that taken care of. Is everybody made up of those? No, they're not. Oh, I made a mistake here. Okay, we're going to have to change these. I actually cannot change all of these divisions into the to the next level unless I change my conscription law, so we're going to have to move away from volunteer only and move up to limited conscription, which actually doesn't really give me that much, I think, even after mobilization. Alright, we've hit the year 1010, which means there are a ton of things I want to research. So we have a couple of options here. We could go for the magical harmony, which gives me things like more breakthrough, less experience loss, more reconnaissance and stuff, but I'm going to go down magical supremacy here, and I'll explain why after it's researched, but that's going to be very good for my my mages. It's going to take a little while to actually mobilize everybody, but I don't anticipate going to war for a while, so I'm just going to do this anyway. Oh, we can give him a new trait. What's this? Guerrilla Fighter, entrenchment speed plus 25%. Oh, maybe mix this and Ambusher? That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. Good stuff. The Crystal Empire is independent right now. They also have their own focus tree. And we're done with the Celestial Worship. A couple more things. I think at the end I'll stop today's episode once I've taken a Lunar Rule. Work for your freedom. Oh wait, what does it say? I was gonna read it out, but after it was already working. Okay, the aftermath of the Civil War has resulted in our prisons being slightly overcrowded. However, we have a brilliant solution for this issue. We can give the prisoners a more lenient sentence in exchange for doing hard labor. So this is going to increase my factory repair speed and increase my construction speed by 20%, which is amazing, especially when you consider that these construction upgrades only do 10% at a time. So it's pretty great. Alright, we are really behind on the pony power, but let's see, we're getting 3% of 15 million. I've got about 600,000 or so men, or ponies in the field. Well, not in the field and in training. Okay, good. Magical weapons are done. Can switch this over now. So now I've got magical infantry. Let's do some comparisons here. Let's say, hypothetically, we had a 6 division, or, yeah, let's say we hypothetically had something like this. A 6 with, a 6 battalion size infantry. Of course, we'll just take away this, Support. So we've got 37.8 soft attack, 6 hard attack, 1.158 defense, 198 breakthrough. Compare this to the magical infantry. As you can see, the stats go up, mostly. Wait, hold on a second. Oh yeah, we can just compare it to the knight volunteers. So the difference is 37 to 66, 6 to 13. You know, regular infantry has a little bit more defense, but I think it's made up for by the difference in breakthrough, because the magical infantry has 27 breakthrough. Organization on infantry is, again, a little bit better, but I think overall it's a better it's good to go for the magical infantry, especially as we begin to change it, as we will see. Alright, now we're working on magical supremacy. I'm thinking dispersed training. I need to get some more research slots too. I've only got 3, but so after I'm done with Lunar Rule, I can get another research slot here by doing the Military Research Committee. I can also get another research slot by eventually coming down here to funding the Crest Hill Military Academy. But either way, I'm going to just have the 3 for a while. Here we go. Did I select the new one? No. All right. Establish the ISS. Alright, everybody's been moved over, right? And it looks like I've reached a point now that... Oh, never mind. I was going to say that it looks like I'm actually accumulating pony power again, but I was wrong. That's okay. We've got other things to do, like research better infantry equipment. But the infantry that I have now, once that's done, once these 24 are out, that's it. I'm switching over to magical infantry. That's what it's going to be all about. Okay, so we have the Mage Company armor plus 450,000%. That might sound like a weird number. Well, it's because it's just this Mage Company here, and now it is giving 3.1 armor to all of my divisions that have the Mage Company in it. So 3.1 armor is not very much, particularly if we were to, say, compare that to even a light tank, which is not very well armored. See, if we looked at this light tank, this weakest of the weak tanks, besides the Great War one, only has an armor of 10, and then it goes to 15, and then it goes to 30. Also, extended focus tree here. So it's not very much, but the point of them getting just that little bit of armor, why it's so good, is because when you look here at the armor, having armor that is higher than the opponent's piercing value makes you less likely, makes you take less damage, and also makes it possible to perform more attacks in combat as the unit has more freedom of movement. So because of that, that's why it's so good. Because just having that tiny bit of armor can make the difference. Alright, what's next here? We're doing that. Oh, I still haven't researched this construction. Yeah, construct. There's a lot of stuff I have to construct. Anything else I want to spend this political power on? Magical weapons for special forces. What is this? When selected, army experience minus 50. Special forces will require magical infantry equipment instead of infantry equipment. Oh, that's interesting. Alright, and finally, let's do the Lunar Rule. Actually, what exactly does it say? Let all the ponies of Equestria know that they serve Luna and only Luna now. Remove national spirit reconciliation effort, which one is it? Right here. So it's lowering my daily political power. It's increasing my daily political power costs, I should say, and it's lowering my stability. So once this is gone, I should be at 100% stability. So maybe I could have afforded to not hang all the traitors, but then again, they were traitors, so I'm not going to cry over it. And I'm going to take us to extensive conscription, and I know that that's not making a difference because now that we're in the cornflakes patch, it's not as if I just instantly get all of that manpower, but I'm just doing that so in the long term I don't have to worry about my conscription again, unless I'm in a serious predicament. Grab ourselves a computing machine. Now I need to start thinking about infrastructure because some of these areas are really sparse, especially on the borders. But I'm also going to need a lot of crystals, so what I'm first going to do is I'm going to up the infrastructure in all these areas that I got resources in. Of course, the Crystal Empire has lots of crystal. We can get that. We will get that, don't you worry. More unique names, I'm loving this. Black helmets, third rock from the moon. That's a nice reference. Good stuff. Okay, we'll put these on the border with the Crystal Empire. Whoa, okay, that's clearly a filler image on the Mare Republic, and that's it. We've done our Lunar Rule. I could begin the National Reclamation, but I want to get at least one more research slot, so what I'm probably going to do is come down here to Founding of the Military Academy, then I'll start beginning the National Reclamation now. So I have to be careful here, because Stalingrad, while they have not made their own focus, oh boy, their leader's called Sinister. That sounds pretty ominous. Stalingrad is a communist country, and so is the Van Hoover Commune and the Mare Republic. So if I'm not careful, they might form some sort of faction, and I might find myself in a multi-war front. We've also got the fascist Confederate Southern states, so for all I know, they could become a part of the changeling hegemony. So I don't want to go to war until I feel that I'm ready to take on multiple opponents. But that, we'll probably have to wait until next time, or maybe even the one after it. Thank you for joining me. I'm Conquering History Games. Please be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you're always notified whenever a new video in this series goes up, and I will see you in the next one.